I still remember the exact moment the red and blue lights painted our quiet street. It was a cold December evening, and my 8-year-old daughter was laughing as she hung a paper angel on the Christmas tree. Then the doorbell rang. 2 patrol cars sat in front of our house, like silent accusations. Officer Daniels cleared his throat. "We've had reports of domestic disturbance and possible fraud." My wife, Dr. Laura Bennett, stood behind me in her hospital scrubs, stethoscope still around her neck after a 12-hour shift. Our 5-year-old son hid behind the tree, clutching a branch like a lifeline. And there, on the public sidewalk, stood Margaret Hayes, arms folded, flanked by 3 neighbors she'd recruited for the show. All because I had said, "No, thank you." 8 months earlier, in October, my family moved into the house on Willow Creek Lane. I'm David Bennett, 41, a senior financial examiner with the IRS, 15 years chasing tax cheats and whistleblower cases. Laura and I had saved for years to buy this place. Tree-lined streets, good schools, the kind of neighborhood where kids ride bikes until the streetlights come on. The welcome packet arrived on day 3. Thick manila envelope, glossy cardstock, serif lettering that screamed expense account. Monthly dues, for $150. 52 rules about grass height, mailbox paint, and when trash cans could touch the curb. Quarterly financials that looked printed by a downtown accounting firm. My professional alarm bells went off immediately. No volunteer HOA produces materials this slick without serious money behind it. I spent the evening in county records. No covenants on our deed. No registered entity called Willow Creek HOA with the Secretary of State. No tax-exempt filing in the IRS database. Every public record confirmed the same thing. Margaret Hayes was running an 8-year scam. 3 days later, I walked across the street with a folder of printouts. Margaret's house could have been on the cover of a luxury real estate magazine. Fresh stucco, new roof, a 2023 Lexus in the driveway. She answered the door in a silk blouse, wiping her hands on a dish towel that probably cost more than my weekly grocery bill. I laid the documents on her porch table. "Your operation violates state and federal law," I said. She smiled the way a poker player smiles when she knows the river card is coming. "Most folks prefer to get along with their neighbors, Mr. Bennett." I saw the tells. The way her manicured finger tapped the Lexus key fob, the tan line where an expensive watch had been removed for our chat. She wasn't retired. She was running a business. A very profitable, untaxed business. Over the next 6 weeks, Margaret proved she was no amateur. Week 1. Letters on official letterhead arrived at my office and Laura's hospital, worded just carefully enough to avoid libel. Week 3. A private Facebook group called Willow Creek Standards exploded with doctored photos of our unkempt lawn and recordings of normal kid noise labeled disturbance. Week 5. City inspectors showed up for imaginary violations. And then, on December 21st, the police arrived while we decorated the tree. Margaret handed the officers a 3-ring binder thick as a phone book, financial charts, typed allegations, color photos. Officer Daniels flipped through it under the streetlight and frowned. The professional presentation proved my point. This was a business, not a neighborhood club. The call was logged as unfounded, but the damage was done. My daughter's tears on the window glass still haunt me. That night, I picked up one of Margaret's scattered pages from our frost-covered lawn. Monthly collections, $32,850. Times 12 months, times 73 houses. Almost $400,000 a year, none of it reported to the IRS. I knew what had to happen next. January became a second job. Saturdays at the county courthouse copying plat maps. Evenings at the kitchen table under a single desk lamp, legal pads bleeding blue ink. I interviewed neighbors in whispers. The retired CPA on the corner who refused to cook her books, the elderly widow who paid just to keep the peace. On February 20th, I mailed a 40-page whistleblower package, certified, return receipt requested. Case number WB 202-40847. Margaret discovered my day job through a private investigator she hired with HOA cash. Her counterattack was surgical. A high-priced law firm filed a federal complaint. IRS employee abusing power. Forged emails, edited audio, sworn statements from neighbors who suddenly remembered threats. 3 investigators escorted me from my office. Security boxed my belongings while co-workers stared at the floor. Unpaid suspension. Mortgage payments looming. Protest signs appeared on our lawn. Stop government harassment. Margaret gave a television interview on her porch, American flag waving, binder of evidence on the table beside her. The camera loved her. Silver hair, soft voice, perfect victim. I watched from our darkened bedroom and wondered if I had ruined my family for nothing. But Margaret made one fatal mistake. To clear me, the Treasury Inspector General had to verify my original claims. Forensic accountants tore into her books. 8 years, $2.85 million in unreported income, $1.2 million in back taxes before penalties. The same evidence she used to destroy me became the foundation of her indictment. June 15, 7:30 a.m. I was pouring coffee when the convoy rolled in. 2 IRS CI sedans, 2 FBI SUVs, local patrol for traffic control, white evidence van. 6 agents in Navy windbreakers fanned out across Margaret's lawn. She opened the door in the same silk robe, newspaper in one hand, coffee in the other. The mug hit the porch and shattered. Special Agent Ramirez read the warrants. Handcuffs clicked. Neighbors watched from bathrobes and slippers as box after box of records marched out of the house. $180,000 in cash counted on the kitchen table under photographer lights. Margaret pleaded guilty to 4 federal felonies. 6 years in prison. $2.8 million in restitution. Her house sold at auction, Lexus seized, jewelry liquidated. A legitimate HOA formed voluntarily. 45 families opted in at $95 a month for actual services, landscaping, snow removal, block parties. 1 year later, I stood in our front yard at 7:30 a.m., same time the agents arrived. The new family across the street had kids' bikes on the grass and a basketball hoop over the garage. No cameras, no threats, no thick manila envelopes. Just the sound of children laughing their way to the school bus. I kept the federal commendation letter in the same folder where I once stored Margaret's fake welcome packet. My daughter, now 9, tells her friends, "My dad catches the